Alright, looks like we're live. Welcome everyone. We'll be getting started in a few minutes. Feel free to go ahead and enter in for a giveaway. We have updated the questions we're asking in our little giveaway survey. So trying to get some new data, information on how to make better streams in the future from you guys. So appreciate that. I should probably post a social media reminder. Before I forget. Hey there, Lego Team Builder. Right, social media'd. Hey there, Voximo. Shocked to see the Quinjet included. Do I really expect to finish the Helicarrier in one go? No, I do not. That's exactly why the Quinjet is included, so I can actually have something done at the end of today's stream. I do have the motors and lights for the Helicarrier, but we're definitely not going to get to that part today, to say the least. Hey there, Aaron. Welcome. All right, it looks like it's 1 o'clock, so get started. Welcome, guys. Black 6 from BZPower here with a awesome stream. It is April. And that means Avengers Endgame is just a few weeks away. I'm pretty excited for it. I mean, it's kind of, the culmination of what's been building up for quite a while in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know a lot of other people are excited for it. So I figured we should celebrate by building some Lego Marvel sets. So I've got 2 here today. We're definitely not going to finish both of them. But we've got this little guy here, the Captain Marvel and the Skrull attacks. This is the Quinjet from the most recently released Marvel movie, Captain Marvel. So it's got, I guess, the original Quinjet, essentially, and then it's got Talos, Nick Fury, Goose, and Captain Marvel. Kind of want to talk spoilers about this film a little bit, but I'm a little bit afraid to. But there are definitely some things in here that, if you've seen the movie, you're like, huh, that's not really that accurate, is it? But then, of course, the big guy we've got is the SHIELD Helicarrier. So almost 3,000 pieces. Can see along the bottom here it is 31 inches long and 17 inches wide. I picked this up a while ago. Both of these sets are from my own collection, not provided by Lego. But the prizes we'll be giving away today are from Lego, so thank you to them for that. But yeah, I picked this up, I think, like on a double VIP points promotion and stuff, so it was definitely worth it considering the VIP points I got and considering how awesome this set looks. I've really wanted to build it for a while, and this seems like the perfect opportunity. Do I intend to do the Quinjet first? Do I have any other Endgame sets, and did I get tickets to Endgame? I did get my tickets for Endgame. I do not have any of the other Endgame sets yet. They just they just came out technically, what, like 5 days ago on the 1st, so I've not gone around to picking any up. I may pick some up next weekend. Is a full shopping day at Lego stores in North America, so if you're a member of a lug, reach out to your lug ambassador or president or whoever, and make sure you have those details, because it's a chance to get, what is it, like 15 or 20% off sets at the Lego store. So maybe I'll pick some up then. I do have a bunch of other Marvel sets from past movies that I've never gotten around to building. So people are asking, am I building a Quinjet first or what? So I think we're going to start by opening. I guess we'll start by doing the Quinjet first. I think that probably makes the most sense, because otherwise I'm going to have all these bags from the Helicarrier. So we're going to kind of move the Helicarrier into the back, this large imposing form here. And we'll get started on this little Quinjet guy. Let's see. There we go. So Captain Marvel and the Skrull attack. I feel like Captain Marvel is still a fairly recent movie, and so I'm kind of afraid to talk spoilers about it, like I said before. But definitely all the aspects of, or all the elements of the set are from the movie, so that's good. But is it necessarily accurate to the film is another story. But anyway, 76127, 307 pieces, retails for $30, so not a bad deal there, but as far as price per part goes. And then on the back, you can see some of the action features. We've got some flick fire missiles, but it looks like there's some sort of mechanism to launch all four at once. And there's a little cargo ramp in the back. Doesn't look like a minifig can fit up there, but Goose the cat can fit in there. And of course, we've got the little stud shooter there as well. So let me adjust my camera. I had to move it up there to fit the Helicarrier box in. And so let's move it down so you'll actually be able to see what I'm building. There we go, that's better. And get my handy X-Acto knife here, and we'll crack this open. So yeah, so the Helicarrier, obviously, like I said, we're not going to be finishing it in one day. It's going to take several days, and I think for each of the streams we do for the Helicarrier, I would like to build like some smaller Marvel sets as well, again, so we have something kind of finished to show at the end of the day. So here's our instruction book. It was nicely curled up in there, not perfect bound or anything, but for a small $30 set, wouldn't necessarily expect it to be. We've got 3 numbered bags, and a pretty elaborate sticker sheet here. It's on a clear backing, which is pretty handy, especially if you're the kind of person who likes to use stickers in your mocks. This way you can put it on any color element that you want, and it will work on there. Unless maybe it's like a black part for some of these things, they may just kind of hide. But so you don't have to put it on gray, which is kind of nice. So that's the sticker sheet. 3 bags. Let's get some trays and open things up. Hey there, Dollar. Welcome. And yes, so someone, Boxman mentioned in the chat, BZPower has built the Helicarrier before, but I was not a part of that stream. That was Chocolate Frogs and Toa Lecon Hordika and 5555555, who I believe at the time were all staff members. They're not all with the staff anymore, but all still great people, pillars of the community, I would say, for the most part. Very active, some awesome builders. Toa Lecon Hordika has probably one of the most elaborate, I guess you could say, collections that I have seen from a Bionicle perspective. So great, and he's a great guy too. So they built the Helicarrier previously. They did it in one day because they had like 3 or 4 people building it. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Here's Captain Marvel in her dark blue suit. Got the nice star symbol. She's got a serious face on the back. Her hair, the hair element, I believe, is the same that Black Widow uses, actually, but in a different color. And then she's got some of these Power Blast pieces. This may actually be the first set I've built that uses these. So they have like a little bar here, so they can clip into the minifig's hand. But I believe the idea is when you push down on here, yeah, see they'll fire out, and so you can kind of show off her powers, so to speak. All right, so we'll put her over there, and then we also have Goose, cute little kidder. Some nice printing on the sides, on the front, and the top. Again, I'm not going to talk spoilers, but Goose does play a role in the movie, and there's certainly a reason that he is featured here. Okay, and now let's get to the building. Oh, sorry about that, Kopaka's Cool Companion. I guess I missed that you had moved. I usually try to check all the addresses when you guys send things, send that your feedback and stuff after you win a giveaway, but I guess I missed that. So hopefully next time you win something in the giveaway, I'll be sure to catch that. Now that you've told me, I'll be on the lookout. So one thing I'm already on the like step 4, I don't think I've seen this piece before. Like this guy is like an oldie but goodie, very classic Lego element, but I'm not sure if I've seen the shorter 1 module deep version. So that's kind of a new to me piece. I'm not sure how long it's been around for. And of course both of those fit really well with this kind of boat bottom plain fuselage part. It's used in a lot of things, and it blends in, you know, perfectly with the rest there. The cat has definitely appeared in different colors. I probably have one somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, you can see this. I have the Harry Potter figs here. So there's the same cat, but in a different color, different printing on it. So yes, they have made him in a different color. But yeah, it's based on the cat's role in the film. It is kind of surprising that there's nothing special about it. I believe the printing on Goose is pretty much just kind of a standard print job. I don't think there's anything kind of custom about it for that character. I think he's appeared in that form, or I think that part with that print job has appeared in other sets, which is kind of surprising because, like in that collectible minifigure one with Hermione, her cat is, I believe, unique for that collectible minifig there. Isn't there a Lego Movie 2 set with those cats in different colors? So the Lego Movie 2 collectible minifigs we built last weekend does feature a cat, but that one actually is a new mold because it is the one with like the spike, the mohawk and the spike collar. So that is an actual new mold, and I believe that's a different color as well. Not much to call out yet in our build here. Pretty standard stuff. So, you guys asked me if I had my tickets for Endgame. Does everyone here have their tickets? I'm sure not everyone here has tickets, but it's everyone who's planning on getting tickets have theirs, because I know I waited until like the end of the first day that tickets were available, and my closest movie theater had very few showings available. Like there was only like 1 or 2 that had any spots left. Yeah, that was assuming you wanted like one of the nice recliner seats that they have in theaters these days. I'm sure I could have gotten a ticket for a showing if I didn't mind sitting in the front. So we got our first sticker in the set, a little control panel for the Quinjet. It says, what, 67 on the left and 12 on the right. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be in the middle. If that's like a ship that it's supposed to be targeting or something like that. Kopaka's cool companion to the rescue there regarding our cat element. Comes in medium dark flesh, dark orange, black, and light bluish gray. Oh yes, Dollar, that is a good topic to discuss. Kind of hot among the Bionicle community these days. Christian Faber's mysterious tweets kind of riling up or rousing up the Bionicle community with some interesting images he's been sharing on his Instagram and social media accounts. I'm really not sure what to expect from all of that. You know, it's I'm gonna say don't get your expectations up, right? That's gonna be my first thing. Is remember, Christian Faber does not work for Lego anymore and has not for several years. You know, that's not to say that he doesn't know people who work at Lego. I'm sure he still keeps in touch with some people over there. But you know, it's not like him saying, like, making these posts means that he is actively working on something, because as far as I'm aware, you know, he is not, and I think he even said as much, that he is not working for or with Lego right now. This is just kind of like him making these posts on his own for the heck of it, more or less. So it does not mean anything is like being worked on for a new Bionicle reboot or anything like that. You know, as like he said, he was just kind of like testing the waters, so to speak. Not that, I mean, I feel like he probably knew what the response was going to be. I have to imagine that, you know, he knows the communities out there. So what exactly he hopes to accomplish, that's kind of like another matter then. Does he hope that, like, hey, he can go to Lego and say, hey, I made these Instagram posts and all these people replied, so let's work together and bring back Bionicle? I mean, I kind of don't see that happening, right? If like that's all it took to bring back Bionicle, you know, Lego would just have to go look at like Brick Fair Virginia last year and be like, oh, I guess there's still people who like Bionicle. So, you know, it's kind of, I'm not sure what we're gonna see, what Faber can accomplish. I mean, obviously he does have years of working with Lego, so if anyone can, you know, has that sway, it's him. We've close to finishing bag one, so let's show off our Quinjet so far. So we did have another sticker piece, or actually two of them on either side. So 2x4 tile with the SHIELD logo on there. And it's also, you can see like a snot tile, and we've got the snot plate here to kind of give some nice shaping. A little bit of snot on the front of the nose of the Quinjet. So coming together. Not really going to be a lot of space in the back. This is not a Quinjet that you can put a lot of minifigs in, or maybe even any minifigs. I think you'd be hard pressed to fit any in there standing up at least. You know, for only a $30 set though, that is kind of expected. I believe there is a Quinjet in the Endgame set, and that one's like, what, $70 or $80. Oh, almost skipped some steps here. I'm like, why do I have all these parts left? So that one is like $70 or $80, and you know, with that one, there's you know, you can definitely fit minifigs inside of it. So yeah, Christian Faber. It's hard to say what we're gonna get out of it, but I mean, it's good to know that he still cares about the community and is still interested in doing something Bionicle related, even if it is just kind of in the spirit of Bionicle rather than in name. Let's see what we've got here. So lots of comments on that. Faber's actually doing his own revamp. I really hope he cleans up the element divisions. So yeah, you want 4 elements instead of 6, which makes sense. I know a lot of people have talked on that a lot. Mitch saying Faber's probably just working on a new cryo shell thing. Yeah, I would expect whatever Faber has in mind, that cryo shell has a part in it. Since I heard someone say recently that he is their manager. I don't know that that's true, but he's definitely very closely involved with cryo shell. So I can see him trying to bring them in to kind of set the tone. And obviously he knows that there's a lot of fans out there who like cryo shell and their music and what they did with Bionicle. So I can see him bringing them in. Alright, so our next minifig we've got here is Thalos. So he is the Skrull in the Skrull attack. He's got plain black legs, but a nice printed torso, dark blue with some purple and silver on there. You can see his headpiece there. I want to say this looks like it came from Lord of the Rings, but it might be new from this set. But it looks like, it looks like a goblin head. He doesn't have any printing on the back of his head. He does have some on the back of his torso there. And then he gets a stud shooter. Nothing too fancy there. Except that sets off his balance and makes him not want to stand. Alright, we're starting off with do this twice. I'm guessing this is probably going to be like the missile launcher pods that go on the side then. One of the kind of comparisons I saw someone make, we don't know anything just yet, but like a potential comparison could be comparing what Christian Faber might do to what, probably gonna butcher this name, but I believe it's like, I'm not even gonna try it. I don't try to pronounce his first name because I don't remember offhand and I don't have it in front of me, but it's Inafune, what he did with Mighty Number 9, which was a Kickstarter game. So he was one of the main character designers for the original Mega Man. I believe he worked on several of the games in that series, and it was a Kickstarter. Took a while to come out, like a lot of Kickstarters do, but was not necessarily well received because, as I said, he was just the character designer and not like the designer of the entire game. So kind of to that end, Christian Faber, he helped concept a lot of Bionicle, but he was not the only person responsible for it and did not make all of Bionicle. So if Faber were to do something on his own, it doesn't quite have the same creative group behind it that if Lego were to do something that it would. So this is kind of interesting. We are doing the missile pods like I thought. So you can see we've got these 2 1x2 Technic bricks with the 2 pinholes in there. We're taking this piece, which you normally see as like a safe or like a door. Like there's a door piece that usually clips in there, and then it can fold open and close. So it's like a compartment on like planes and vehicles and stuff. We're putting it in here where it can slide because it's on these tiles. If I have the tiles pushed down well enough, it'll slide forward and backwards. Then take in a couple of bricks here to lock it into place. And so now this thing is stuck in here, but because there's that round tile on the front, when we put flick fires in here, you'll be able to push this forward and it will be able to launch all 4 flick fires at once. All right, and then these guys go on the wing pods here, only if I put them on the right way. So yeah, I could be, have a little bit of concern that Christian Faber working alone without an entire team behind him on a Bionicle reboot or a Bionicle spiritual successor could be a little concerning. Because he's good with like the big concepts, right, and like the overarching ideas and everything like that, but maybe not necessarily. And I don't know this for sure, right? I mean, we don't know until we've seen him do it or not do it. But in theory, you can make the comparison that, as not being the entire creative team, there could be a risk that anything he does would not be quite the same as like a full Bionicle reboot. So again, just kind of stuff to keep in mind, to have a little caution, and not expect the world out of this. Definitely will be watching to see how it goes, and hopefully it goes well, right? I mean, I want to hope for the best, but I also don't want to be disappointed. So we've moved on to working on the wings here. Now the question is, if we're getting Bionicle back, what about Hero Factory? There's definitely some nice things about Hero Factory that I liked, but I personally don't need or have a strong desire to see it back. But I would love to see an original Construction theme, or maybe not original, but a non-IP based Construction theme that isn't Bionicle. I would certainly not mind seeing that at all. Whether it's more Hero Factory or something new. Just something, really something to give us, more Construction parts, right? Like, right now, there's not much out there if you're a Construction fan. It's like picking up any sets you can find that are still on store shelves, mainly Star Wars buildable figures, or whatever BZPower gives away. I mean, there are, I guess, a few system sets that do still incorporate construction elements, but I feel like those are the exception rather than the rule. Uh-oh, what else we got? Kopaka's cool companion. I think you might be overestimating the community. I don't think our uproar at bringing back Hero Factory or something like that would destroy the company. I mean, we're certainly vocal, but we're not that vocal. We're not that important to the overall bottom line. An Exoforce reboot would be cool, yeah. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Kabaka's cool companion. I misunderstood. So you're talking about if they brought back Bionicle as system sets instead of contraction. I don't think that would kill the company either. I think if there was a good story around it, fans would probably buy it anyway and collect it. And I think that's the thing that I see from a lot of fans. There's either people who just want more parts, and that's fine. But there's, people are kind of in two camps. Either they just want more construction parts, or they want Bionicle to tell a good story. So I think if there was a way to get construction parts, and if LEGO told a good Bionicle story, then fans overall would be fine with the state of things. And I think that if they did come out with a system Bionicle theme, the people who wanted construction parts wouldn't threaten to burn down the company over it. They'd just be like, hey, where's my construction stuff? Okay, got another sticker going in here on this, what is this, 2x6 curved brick. There we go, just maybe like a little intake or something. See that people are definitely very divided on how many elements Bionicle needs. I've certainly seen arguments for many different ways to do it. All right, done with bag 2. Definitely looks like a thing that flies at this point. Very solid. Like I hold it by a wing and shake it, and the only thing that's really moving are the flick fire launchers there. You do have to watch out for little wingtip lights here, because those are just held on by clips, so those could pop off, I suppose. But overall, very nice and sturdy so far. And lots of extra little pieces. Last bag, or last minifigure, we get a de-aged Samuel L. Jackson as Agent Nick Fury. So here we go. I think in Captain Marvel they did a pretty fantastic job of de-aging him. Like Thanos, his legs are just plain black, but he's got a nice, kind of generic torso. I don't even see a SHIELD logo on it anywhere, so you could use it for like, you know, your own FBI or Secret Service agent kind of things. It's got the holster in there. Head's pretty generic too. It's got an angry face on the back. So it's a pretty cool torso. I like that. And of course he's got appropriate hair, and then they give him a little blaster. This is what from that space theme with the Earth Defense Unit. I can't remember. Galaxy Squad? Yeah, Galaxy Squad, or something from that time frame. Definitely not Galaxy Quest. That's a whole other thing. Alien Invasion, that one too, yes. Alien Invasion was first. Thank you for the correction. That was a good few years of space themes. Right, people often say that like LEGO can't have space themes anymore because of Star Wars, but you know, they had like, that was like what, 3 or 4 years. Alien Invasion, Galaxy Squad, then there was Space Police, or maybe Space Police was first. And they had some like great new parts and some awesome designs, and they all kind of like fell together, like or worked together. You know, one kind of built into the next a little bit. And there wasn't like any strict story to it, other than like, oh, aliens are invading, look out. But like I said, all kind of work together. So you got another sticker here on a couple of these kind of rooftop pieces. Kind of standard aviation, no step warning. You're not supposed to stand on the wings of airplanes, apparently. Can't imagine why not. Hey there, Owen. Welcome. Yeah, it would be nice to get another space theme in that vein. Galaxy Squad, Alien Invasion, etc. Maybe someday. I do like how Nexonites had that kind of feel, at least, to some degree. You know, it wasn't perfect by any means, but still kind of had like that feel to it. Especially in the big castle set that literally had a spaceship. It would be nice to get like a whole theme dedicated to that. Man, you guys are really going on about this 4 or 6 elements thing. another sticker. I do feel like some of these stickers don't quite seem necessary. They seem a little overdone. Like control panel, I get. No step, I get. That's like a nice, cool little detail. Makes it like authentic. Because like I said, that's a kind of common term in aviation. But then you got like this little red stripe or red panel on this 2x2 tile. And it's like, do you really need that? They've got some wing tips. Oh, they're supposed to be folded down. One thing I would say I'm not too happy about here is I just added the ramp on, and it is very gappy on the sides. Did I do it right? Did I put on back? Oh, I think I put on backwards. That would do it. All right, let's see. Okay, that's a lot better. And you got this piece on here to keep it from going all the way in. I was like, why would the dark tan be outside? Figured it out. Oh, sorry, Cap. And sorry, Thalos. Jeez. Come on, guys. Stay on your feet here. Alright, so now you've got the engine pods. This time we do one at a time, but like so many other things, I'm too impatient for that. I'll just have to be careful of the stickers. Yeah, I do think that's probably the nicest thing about Christian Faber's posts is that it's definitely gotten the community excited and interested again in a way they haven't been for a while now. Something we've certainly have missed, and kind of just that possibility of something that gets people excited and engaged again. Hopefully that continues so we can keep that momentum going, if nothing else. More stickers going on to the engine pods. Show those off after I do the other one. Hey there, Scalador. You know, I feel like there are way more than even 16 elements in Bionicle. Yeah, if you want to be technical. Right, someone head over to Biosector 01. You know, you got like psionics and the green and gravity and this and that. Greg added a lot of stuff. Alright, so our next two stickers, we've got this one on the 2x4 tile. It's kind of a red stripe and a little panel. This one, the red stripe continuing around, and this one says Danger Jet Blast. Looks like we got 5 more stickers left. 2 are for the wingtips, and the other 3 are for the cockpit. Those are only 16 elements. Alright, so got the biggest stickers here, these wingtip ones. Hopefully they aren't too much of a pain to put on. Who knew? That did not go well. See if I can salvage that. Alright. So here we go. Got our tail number AZ70973. No idea if that's a reference or what that is a reference to. I guess it's probably just accurate to the film, but I'm sure whoever's designing it in the film had something in mind for it. And so now I got our completed engine pod. Goes on. So just go, well, like all the way forward or centered? I guess centered in here. All right. Looking pretty good. Just need to finish up the nose section, it seems. Looks like I got Anakin Skywalker in the chat here talking about sand. And our last stickers on this canopy piece. It's actually funny looking at this, right? This same piece is used, I'm not sure if you can, can't really see it, but it's going to be used in the Helicarrier, it looks like. Actually, that one might be slightly different. Interesting. Alright. This is actually kind of tricky because of all the slopes and angles on this canopy piece. time for a last sticker on the Quinjet, because it definitely looks like there's going to be plenty of stickers in the Helicarrier. Alright, so there you go. You can see we've got 3 stickers on the canopy here. I feel like that's about 3 too many. A little bit of a pain to do all that. But it's done. Done and behind us. I guess this is like the sensor package on the nose here. Oh, I never did the flick fires. I guess that's in this step too. Oh. Stay on. Alright, so there's our completed canopy, and that attaches to these 2 studs here, and then fold that down. Now we just need some missiles, 8 to be exact. Get the trays out of the way. Shows off the function in there. This tells you you get a Lego life. Part inventory. Interesting, a pirate telling you to win. Do they even make any sets with the pirate in them right now? So let's load this up. Hey there, Ignica. Yes, you did miss our first build. We're going to be showing off the finished model here, and then we're going to be starting on this bad boy, so there's still lots more. Okay, let's see. Put our giveaway link up there. So I'll be doing a giveaway after we finish looking at our Quinjet here. So here it is. First thing I'm going to say is that like in between the launchers in the back here, there's like a little groove in here. So it allows your fingers to fit pretty nicely in there. So it's very swooshable, easy to hold. And you can see it's very sturdy. It's not going to fall apart as you play around with it. So that's pretty nice. I feel like the cockpit looks a little wonky. Like the sensor package thing I understand, but I just feel like kind of the overall shaping, you know, I was complaining about the stickers on here, but if you're gonna put this many stickers, why not put some on the sides here to kind of give it a little more finished look. So that's kind of the one negative so far, but I do like the curved top. I like how they use a lot of hinge plates and stuff to get the engine pods, because these are on hinges, and then the fins are hinged as well. And I think that comes up looking with a pretty cool shape. Having this wing piece kind of tilted down in the back there is a little odd. I guess it's just kind of generic aerodynamics. Alright, so let's test out our flick fires. So they have these kind of tile wall pieces in the back to keep the launcher from falling all the way out the back. So it does mean you have to make sure you're pushing up near the top. And so let's see how that goes. That didn't work too well. Let's see if I can try to push a little more force here. Yeah, so it gets them out all at once, but I've definitely seen better flick fire mechanisms in LEGO sets. And actually saw an interesting article recently. Tom, I want to say it's Tom Alphin, the Brick Architect, brickarchitect.com, I believe. He posted like the most common LEGO elements over the past few years. And also in addition to that did a thing where he was looking at like the most up and coming and kind of the most up and coming, like the elements that are appearing in more, that have the biggest change in the number of sets they're appearing in, and then the reverse, the ones that were appearing in the fewest sets. And flick fires are on the decline. They're appearing in fewer and fewer sets over the past like 5 years. So here's the cockpit. It's a very tight squeeze. I feel like often in a cockpit like this, the character has to be like leaning back, but in this case, Captain Marvel is leaning very much forward in order to fit in there. But then the canopy does fit on just fine, no issues there. And so there's no way to access the inside of the Quinjet from the top. The only way to access it is from the back. And it's only 2 studs wide, so a minifig cannot stand up in there. It would be nice if they set this up so you had some studs here, so you could at least have a character standing on the ramp. But I guess the best thing you can hope for is maybe sliding him down there. So you can, maybe if you put him in feet first. No, feet first, he fits even less far. So you can, alright, so you can get a minifig in there on its side and close the ramp, but you definitely can't fit a second one in there. On the box, they just kind of show the cat sitting in there, and it's even tiled, so there's not even like studs that you can have Goose like standing in here. You can just kind of slide it back in and close it, and then open it, and it can jump out. So a little disappointed by the cargo bay. Like, it would definitely have to be at least 2 studs wider to fit a minifig standing up. But I don't know. They have the ramp in there. It would be nice if you could actually use it for something, to at least store the minifigs, right? Because as it is now, if you want to like display the set, like what do you do with Thalos and Nick Fury? Stand them on the wings or something, I guess. We can do that. So yeah, they can stand over here where it says no step. They're breaking the rules, breaking the law. You can put Goose on the middle there, and they can go flying into battle. Although I suppose technically, you should probably put like Nick Fury behind the cockpit controls. Well, I don't believe he is at this point rated to fly, but as you see in the movie, or as you know about Captain Marvel, because she's a character that's been around in some form for years, she can fly, so she doesn't exactly need a Quinjet, so she can just kind of zoom around on her own. You probably saw that you can at least use this to store her power blasts, and in this case Nick Fury's gun. So it is good for something. So yeah, that is about it for the Quinjet. Let's see if you guys have stopped talking about Bionicle elements and given any feedback on there. Yes, the shaping overall, I definitely like on it. So So Voxmo, sorry to break it for you, but Avengers Endgame will not be coming to Netflix. It will be going to Disney's streaming platform. I believe Captain Marvel is actually going to be the first Disney, or the first Marvel movie at least, that will not be going to Netflix and will be saved for Disney's streaming platform. There are a lot of studs in the wings, but I don't really find that a detraction. It is a Lego set after all, and only a $30 Lego set. What else we got? Talking about how long you drive to go to a movie theater. Yeah, I think having stud shooters would probably have been better than the flick fires if they could have worked out a mechanism for that. I like them much better. Okay. No, I will not forget to start building the Helicarrier. One of the things going back to the flick fires being on their way out, though, is unfortunately one of the other pieces that was on the decline was the Hero Factory or CCBS shell, the 3-module shell, which I guess had been fairly common being used in system sets and in Bionicle and the Star Wars buildable figures, but that had seen one of the biggest drops. I want to say it was like one of the 10 or 20 biggest drops in appearing in sets over the past 5 years. So that's kind of sad. Alright, so let's pick our first winner for today. We've got quite the selection of prizes. We're not going to be giving away all of them today, but we have plenty more Helicarrier streams to do. So we will have plenty of opportunities to give them away. In this case, Lego Team Builder has won a piece of Resistance polybag, going all the way back to the first Lego movie. We still had some of those floating around, so figured that'd be a good prize to give away. So congratulations, Lego Team Builder. We may reset the giveaway in future streams as far as entering, but the prizes will carry over. So we're definitely not going to be giving away all of the prizes today. Okay, so putting our Quinjet off to the side, dumping out our extra parts into my extra part cup that is getting very full and needs to have something done with it at some point. We are moving on to this bad boy, ages 16 and up. The 76042 SHIELD Helicarrier. 2,996 parts, retails for $350, so pretty much about 10 times as big as that Quinjet. So the Quinjet took us an hour, so kind of extrapolate that out, and this could take potentially up to 10 hours to build, so definitely not finishing it today. So yeah, you can see this is based on Marvel's The Avengers. Actually, you can't see that. I tilted the camera up too high. Got a little carried away. There's a little bit of a lag, even in my own setup, of seeing when I move the camera and where it goes. Tilt a little bit further down so you can see the minifigs on here. So yes, you can see the Avengers logo. This is kind of based on the first Avengers movie from 2012, although Helicarriers have shown up in several Marvel movies and in the TV shows. I think they showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You can also see there are 5 minifigs in here: Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, old Nick Fury, and Maria Hill. And there's also a bunch of microfigs on here. So you got S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, Nick Fury, you got Hawkeye, Iron Man gets a little trophy fig there. We get little Quinjets and other planes. Are some Hero Factory elements, or no, I guess those are, I think those were first in Chimo, or is the claw elements being used in the turbines there. But yeah, so that is the front of this massive box. You can see just how thick it is there. I believe this is about the same size, if not the exact same size, as the Death Star. So quite a big set. Here we've got the back. You can see that if you put in a battery box, a motor, and some lights, you can motorize the turbines and add some lights. And I just had a cat jump up on my lap, surprising me. Hello, Winky. You want to help build? So yes, there's the power functions aspect. I got a cool kind of blueprint look at the set. And then we can see we've got a display base in the bottom for the minifigs. We've got a UCS style plaque. And at least a couple parts in here, you can remove panels and see like the interior. So pretty cool. All right, so without further ado, let's open this up. This is gonna be really interesting now, opening this up with a cat on my lap. Yes, you're very cute, Winky. Camera's too high though, so you're not gonna appear on camera. But she's very interested in this box. Oh no, the Quinjet. Uh-oh, Hogwarts. All right. Ooh. Oh. And there's a box within a box. It's okay, Wink. Oh, okay, she had enough of that. Thankfully, she didn't rip up my legs too much. Almost lost a bag there. Sorry, Winky. All right, now we can lower our camera back down a bit. Get this box within the box out of here. There we go, now the white balance is not messed up. All right, so first off, we've got our massive instruction booklet and sticker sheet. It actually looks like there's almost fewer stickers in here than there were in the Helicarrier, or the Quinjet. But definitely a lot more parts. All right, so get that tree back in Hogwarts before I forget. All right, so you have 12, 3, 7. Be a lot of sorting for a bit. Another 3. Got our unnumbered bag. Oh, so that's why there's not that many stickers. These parts are all printed. That's pretty awesome. We'll try to run away down here. Number 2. 11. So unless I'm mistaken, the number 1 bag was actually going to be in that box, the box within a box. I'm seeing got like 4 number 3 bags, 4, 5, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, but no 1. Ah, Lego, Lego, Lego. All right, so now I get to start taking some of these bags off of here, try to keep them in some kind of order, and hope that the cats don't mess with them too much. That's 6, where's that? Just kind of making a circle around my chair here. Now we've got 5, 4, got 4 number 3s, and 2 2s. Now we can open the box within a box. See you later, Dylan. Yeah, cats can definitely be annoying when it comes to Lego. I'm sure that if Winky works up the courage to come back, she will most likely mess with the boxes that I have left strewn from this stream. Another unnumbered bag, and these kind of are going from all over the place. I've got 10s and 9s and 2s and 3s. Do have several number 1 bags. That's the important part, right? Okay, I think I got 5 as well. Okay, so 4, lots of parts in 3, 2, and 1. Unnumbered stuff and instructions. Hello and goodbye, Cubic. Hey there, Bricksmith. My name's Andrew. Nice to meet you. All right. So here is our sticker sheet. You can see the biggest one is going to be for like the plaque. Then aside from that, it's just going to like the SHIELD logo and some number 64s, a little bit of runway detailing, but not that bad in the big scheme of things. Instruction book, not quite the best for the wear here. Not quite as big as the Death Stars, but it's certainly up there. That is quite hefty. Oh, and it looks like the first thing we're building is the display base and the stand for the minifigs. So I'm gonna have to do the biggest sticker first. You have to open up this guy. I don't know why all Lego bags can't be like this and have like these perforations so they're like nice and easily open. I'm gonna need this piece, yes. And then the plaque piece, so a few of those, but probably gonna need 1. And 2 number 1 bags, let's open those up. I suppose I probably need to have the display stand for the Helicarrier as it gets along in the build process to have something to put it on. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time just supporting it. Well, I've got a brick separator. Not in teal. Brick separator cup, not quite full yet, but it's getting there. Lots of little Technic pins. And it looks like bag 1 is actually going to start the base of the Helicarrier itself. But we're beginning with the minifig stand, even though we will have no minifigs to put on it. And that is going to be like a big SHIELD logo. Alrighty, I can't find the parts I need. There we go. what year did the 3x3 plate come out? Because I feel like that is, I thought that was more recent than when this set came out, because wasn't this set like 2012, 13? How long have I been hanging on to this? I definitely did not get it when it first came out, but I was got a couple years ago. I feel like, I thought this set was older than I guess maybe it is. But that 3x3 plate is pretty awesome. $2009, really, wow. All right, so this is kind of a neat technique because if you notice if you've seen the display base, it's kind of at an interesting angle. And so to kind of get some of that shaping, we've got this 2x3 plate that has like that hole in there, and so we're putting it on this 2x2 round plate. So it's got a little bit of motion right now, but I'm sure we'll be locking that down as we get building. Alright, I was right, this set is from 2012, at least I'm not going that crazy. But I didn't realize that the 3x3 plate went all the way back to 2009. Guess it's all just blending together in my old age. See here now, can start seeing the kind of eagle logo, or eagle from the SHIELD logo coming together. That's kind of a cool technique here. We use that 1x4/2x2 hinge plate to attach this 1x4 plate on the back edge here. I don't think I've ever seen that technique quite used. And so now this is going to attach onto the base of our SHIELD eagle. And so now this is all at like a 45-degree angle, but it has a base that is flat and has some Technic pinholes we'll be able to attach to the minifig stand. And now it almost stands up as well. So a couple parts to finish it off. There we go. One Shield Eagle. I was trying to think recently. I'm sure you guys could either look it up in our YouTube history or remember, but when was the last time we built like a really big set like this? Obviously we started Hogwarts, but that wasn't me building it. And we haven't finished that yet either, due to Chelsea's schedule. I keep telling her, hey, we need to get back, and she's like, yeah, I know, but we'll get there eventually. Will not stay incomplete forever, but I can't remember the last time that like I built a really big set. It was probably, I want to say it was like one of the Technic sets I built last year. It just feels like it has been a while since I built like a multi-$100 model. And so I'm really looking forward to this, not only for, you know, being excited for Endgame, but also because it's been a while since I built a set this big. You know, miss the fun of seeing it all come together. I mean, Nick, I think the whole set is just kind of awesome in general. So, like, all the little details seem to be really cool. So it's okay to be excited for the SHIELD logo. So now here is the base. You can see we got these 2x2 plates with Technic pins on them, which that pops together. And it looks like that is it for the logo. We've got a couple of jumpers here for 2 minifigs, and then I guess you got 2 more in here and then 1 in the middle. I think there's 5 that it showed on the box, right? 1, 2, yep, 5. So definitely room for 5 minifigs on here. And now we get to start on the Technic frame. We get to see if I can successfully put on the plaque sticker, the absolutely ginormous one. Probably one of the second most difficult stickers in LEGO sets that I've come across, at least. Most difficult would be the UCS X-Wing canopy sticker. So difficult they give you extras in the box because they know you're going to screw up. I've got some really big Technic beams here. Those are what, 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 4, 16. 1 by 16. And now as I'm seeing just how big the display base is, I'm looking around at my build table here. I'm like, I think I might finally need to find a new home for Harry Potter collectible minifigs and some of the other stuff that's kind of collecting around the edges here, because this is going to be a big build. Well, you didn't believe me, Paco's Cool Companion? You better believe they give you an extra cockpit sticker for that X-Wing. And it's a scary one too, because it's like, it would be nicer if they broke it down into several stickers, I guess. But for whatever reason, because they wanted the canopy lines to line up perfectly, they did it in one. Yeah, I still haven't quite figured out where I'm going to put this set when I'm done with it. That's probably one of the main reasons I haven't built any big LEGO sets recently. I guess I have until I finish to figure that out. Yeah, so here's what we've got so far. Already pretty sturdy with all the Technic. You can see we've got like these kind of J-shape Technic beams on the outside. Then on the inside, they put these L-shaped Technic beams going in the opposite direction to really support it from wiggling back and forth. And I believe we're going to be putting some supports in here that'll beef it up even more. So speaking of all the Marvel goodness going on, has anyone been watching the new season of Cloak and Dagger that just started up? I want to say it is on Freeform. Really enjoyed the first season. Thought it was something kind of nice and different in the Marvel universe. I'm not really familiar with their characters outside of the MCU. I don't think I've ever read a Cloak and Dagger comic, but seems pretty interesting so far in season 2. Alright, so these guys go in here, and these Technic axles we had earlier, we push all the way through, and that kind of solidifies it side to side. That might be it for the core of the base. It looks like the next step is going to be the plaque already. Alright, make sure I can steady my hand and hold my breath. I guess it's kind of nice that they're getting the biggest and most annoying sticker out of the way first. I think this is a part you don't see too often, at least not in this color. I know we've talked about this part in the past, like before when it used to have little teeth on the inside of this section. Kind of interesting. Or maybe I just don't recognize it because I don't build enough Technic. I like how they say, like, this is supposed to be on the back of the plaque right now, and I'm supposed to put the plaque on here before I even put the sticker on. I'm like, that is just craziness. Alright, time for this sticker. Make sure you clean off the part. Gonna need a couple of X-Acto knives. Agneca, glad you're enjoying this new start of the new season. Oh, look at this bad boy. Alright, 2 X-Acto knives. Oh no, it slipped off my knife. Stay on there. Alright. Trying to line up the bottom edge. Looks like the tolerances on this thing are pretty tight. Like normally there's a little bit of a gap between the edge of the sticker and the edge of the part, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case here. Peeling it back a little bit, come on. Alright, not seeing any bubbles. So I'm gonna, oh, never mind, I spoke too soon. There is indeed a bubble. See if I can work that out. I may be stuck with a bubble. See if I can get the X-Acto to peel this back. Alright, there we go. So our pain in the butt sticker, the Avengers Helicarrier, dual seaworthy and airborne aircraft carrier. 1,486 feet long, 970 feet wide, yada yada yada. Can sleep easy now, knowing that that is done. I can't imagine having put that on like while it had this thing on the back. You have thrown her across the room. Well, I'm glad it did not come to that. Alright, and there it is. You can see it does kind of move a little bit, but you lean it back, and it hopefully looks awesome displaying your helicarrier. And now, still in bag one, we actually get to start working on the helicarrier. As you can probably expect, a lot of Technic to start with. Make a nice strong frame, although not too much Technic, I guess. After these two pieces, I don't think there's much Technic left. We do have this nice big boat piece. Usually see this in like pirate ships, but now we're using it in a helicarrier. I guess they're calling Nick Fury a pirate of the skies, a sky pirate. That was a Ninjago season. I guess they're ripping off Ninjago now, retroactively. I'm pretty sure this came out first. Not exactly sure where this is going to be visible at the end of the day. But we are adding a whole lot of detail. Oh, this may be actually like the bridge of the helicarrier here. And there's going to be a whole bunch of 1x2 jumpers and 2x2 jumpers, and then 1x2 grills. Eventually 1x2 translate blue plates. Making quite the elaborate pattern here, it would seem. Just so many grills and jumpers in here. Now the next step is another 12 of them. Hey there, Ida, welcome. Alright, this looks like it's going to be the last of the jumpers and the grills. There we go. To what end this will serve, we're about to find out. Putting some propeller pieces on there. Don't think they're going to be propellers in this case, though. One thing, if you're OCD like me, you want to make sure that the cross-axle holes in those propellers line up. Otherwise, it would be like that. And even if you can't see this in the final model, like just knowing that was like that would drive me crazy. Now the translate blue starts. They're actually using the fact that there's that little tube in the bottom of the 1x2 plate, and there are holes in the studs of these to kind of put them off-centered here. I think we're getting close to finishing up our first bag here. So let's go ahead and get ready to do another giveaway. Alright, and this is it for bag one. So yeah, like I said, I think this is going to be the bridge. Like these are supposed to kind of be maybe like the computer terminals, and all the jumpers are where you put the little trophy micro figures. That's just a hunch. We'll have to wait and see how things go. dump my extra pieces off to the side. And so yeah, in addition to that, we built our minifigure display stand. We'll be getting our first minifigure in bag 2. And then we built the stand for the helicarrier itself. Let's do a test. It works, so it does hold the helicarrier even after bag 1. Good to know. And yeah, so let's see who our first or our next winner is going to be. Oh, hey there, Tolerant X. Voxumo, congratulations. You have won a piece of resistance polybag. You know the drill. We'll be getting in touch with you to make sure we have your current address. And apparently, according to Ignica, in the movie, the helicarrier bridge, the layout forms the SHIELD logo. And can maybe almost see it a little bit. Not quite. We'll see what happens after bag 2. Alright, so we got a lot of parts in bag 2, so let's open them up. We're going to need this bad boy to lengthen our helicarrier hull. Lots of itty bitty parts. This bag mainly looks like it's got some Technic pins and a couple other little tiles and stuff. So we'll kind of keep those all off to one side so they're easier to find later. Alright, we start off with a minifig. Head and hair and bow and body. Just need to find the legs. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we've got Clint Barton, Hawkeye. And so he's got his Avengers era uniform. He's got the goggles, an angry face there, some nice dark red printing on the torso. He's got one hand with a glove to protect him while firing his bow. On the back, he doesn't have any goggles, just has a kind of serious face and a little bit of printing there. And so he gets a spiky hairpiece. And he gets his bow and arrow. There you go, Hawkeye. Yeah, we can put him on our minifig stand there. Okay. Let's see, how do we want to arrange all these? So our first step is extending the hull with that big piece there. It looks like we're going to make another part that's going to connect to that. Our supply of Technic pins is already being used up right at the start. Not completely, but. Oh, and then we need another one of these big boat hull pieces. Is it in here? Yes. Oh. Alright, so already we're like 2 steps into bag 2, and our helicarrier has doubled in size. Off to a strong start. So Ignika, I see that you've been rewatching every MCU movie in preparation for Endgame. That is quite the undertaking. After I saw Infinity War, I kind of had the same feeling, but I didn't get quite through every movie. I did rewatch all of Phase 1 and 2. So that was still quite a lot of movies that I had to, well, not had to, that I watched back through. And it was kind of really cool seeing some of like the plot threads for movies as way back as like the first Captain America, and how, you know, they did in fact pay off in Infinity War. Pretty crazy that they went back and like picked up on all those little things. Alright, now for some more Technic stuff. Yeah, I am curious to see when, I guess, is Far From Home still technically Phase 3? Because I have the 2 box sets from Phase 1 and 2. The first one with the briefcase, well, the name just jumped, the Tesseract, the briefcase with the Tesseract, and then the second one that has the Infinity Stone from Guardians of the Galaxy and the little orb thing that they found it in. So I'm hoping they do something like that for Phase 3 as well. And so that's why I have not rewatched any of the Phase 3 movies, because I haven't picked any of them up yet, so I'd have had to pay to rent them or something. That was just too much work at the time. I've seen those recently enough that, you know, I can remember what happened in them. Or so I think. I'm sure there's details I've forgotten. I mean, you say that, Ignika, but wasn't like Ant-Man? Yeah, Ant-Man was part of Phase 2 that came right after like Civil War. Or there was definitely some situation where like there was definitely a big kind of ending point, and then another movie came out that was still part of that phase. I forget if it was, I think it was Phase 2. I guess it was after Age of Ultron. Whatever was right after Age of Ultron. Ant-Man, I think, yeah. So Ant-Man came out after Age of Ultron, but was still part of Phase 2. It was kind of like, just kind of tacked on at the end there. So, but hey, if you want to put out the box set sooner, I'm fine with that. Man, Aaron, you are really behind on those MCU movies. I mean, hey, if they're not your thing, that's fine. But if they are, you got a lot of catching up to do. Even more than Voximo. Okay. And our helicarrier base continues to grow. If I can line up, there's something wrong here. Yes, I put these blue pins in the wrong spot. Why isn't this going in? There we go. Our helicarrier gets even longer. Definitely curious as to how much of this interior stuff will be accessible in the finished model. We do know, at least from the box, there will be one panel that is removable, and you can access the inside a little bit. But I don't know how much of that is going to be seen. I feel like this thing right here looks like a good spot for the battery box when they get to that point. So this is kind of interesting. We just built this little attachment assembly, and we're flipping it around. We're attaching it to the underside of this. So we're essentially kind of just making our own boat hull. It's kind of has a slightly steeper profile, but still kind of similar. I guess that's to have this opening here for whatever reason. I'm sure we'll see as we go along why that opening is needed. Now, I don't think that would be a place for the display base, but who knows? Have to wait and see. For the other side. Now we've got 11 of these boat bottom pieces. I feel like back in the day, they were pretty much just used as like a boat bottom, usually on like the one piece boat hulls. But nowadays they're used in a lot of other things. Like, once I put these on, we'll show off. They actually were used in the Captain Marvel Quinjet as like a piece to hold things together. And here they're kind of being used as that too. You can see that they're kind of bridging the different seams to strengthen it. And like on the Quinjet here, on the bottom of the wings, you can see they're used to kind of hold the, what would otherwise be a fairly thin wing together to give it some extra strength. So it's kind of nice that they have dual purposes in that regard. still building upside down. Well, that's neat. I just now noticed. When did that even start? Interesting. It's not on every page, but on some of the pages here in the top right corner, make sure you guys can see that pretty good. You can see that has like the little Quinjet, microscale Quinjet embossed on there. But it's not on every page. You can see like over here, there's no Quinjet. It's kind of weird that it's not everywhere. But it is a nice little touch where it is present. Okay, flip it around. Now 18 clips. 18 of these little guys. These are all going, and what I thought was where the microfigs were going to go on what I thought was the bridge. But apparently this may still be the bridge. Looks like these are all going to be little display terminals. So we're going to be putting a trans light blue 1x1 tile in each of these clips, or most of the clips at least, to serve as display screens. Kind of odd building technique. Maybe not an odd building technique. Let me restate that, because it is certainly something that AFOLs have done for quite a while, but it's not something you usually see in like official Lego sets. Is putting a tile into a clip. What do you mean, spoilers for the build? How can I spoil the build as I'm building it? I thought that was the whole point. Kind of hard to get all these at quite the right angle. Oh, that would have been bad. And so now the tricky part with this is that you have to center the tile in the clip and hope that as I go through, and there's 16 of these, they don't pop out like that. But that, like, once I finish one, that I don't inadvertently pop out another. I'll actually miss 2 clips. Oh, when I was flipping through the pages, it was spoilers for the build. I don't know, I might be stretching it a little bit. The good news is once you get the little tiles in, it is easier to spin the clips around to position them appropriately. Alright, last two for this step. It does leave two clips with nothing in it, so I assume we're going to be doing something with those. Yeah, see, those have a little special situation. Those get Exoforce hands, and the tiles get clipped into the Exoforce hands. Like so. I do that backwards. It's kind of odd the way they want that done, but okay. Why did I still do it backwards? They want, no, they want that going into the inside. There we go, so there's the ones for the bridge. I need to straighten them out a little bit. Alright, starting to build up a bit. Got some wall panels coming in here. Alright, see you later, Voximo. Figure it's a little after 3 p.m. Probably gonna go to 5 p.m. Eastern at the latest, so another 2 or so, a little less than 2 hours. At most. No guarantees. Are the parts I need? Ah, it's dark gray. Instructions, it looks like they're asking for dark gray and black, but apparently it's light gray and dark gray. And that would be why I was having problems finding the parts. So lots of little kind of random stuff going in now. Kind of making this all, you know, still kind of like the skeleton for the helicarrier. So it's still kind of like, how much of this are we going to see in the end? How much of it's just like structural stuff? some of it, like adding on these snot plates or snot brackets and like tiles and stuff, seems like it's got to be for something, right? You'd think, but we'll see. I've got 14 of these panels going in addition to the 6 we put in before. Kind of start to give the outside some shaping. It's kind of interesting that there's like these 3 gaps on each side. And you'd expect there to be 2 on each side since the helicarrier's got 4 propellers, so you'd expect to have like 1 gap per propeller. But maybe that's not quite how the build is going to go. Alright, got that. Have a feeling that some of the things we're building now aren't gonna like pay off for a while. Oh, apparently something here is going to be visible because we're putting a sticker on it. I've got a 2x2 round tile. In this case, it does make sense to apply it first because you want the sticker to be aligned properly. And this is the one odd man out shield logo. That's the dark eagle on the light blue background as opposed to the light blue eagle on the dark gray background. There we go. Kind of complements our minifig stand pretty well. I guess that's, if this is in fact the bridge over here, that would be on the top of it. I've got some window panels going in. I suppose it's usually helpful to be able to see out from the bridge. Yeah, I think at this point it's definitely safe to say that this is the bridge. Just about done with bag 2 here. So I've put up the giveaway link again. How's this going on here? Did I miss a part? Yes, I think I missed a part in the instructions. Oops. There's supposed to be those little slopey dudes there. Come on. They're using these curved canopies to go in the front. And those actually do a pretty good job of kind of enclosing the front of the bridge there, and then we can build up on top because we've got these clear window panels in the middle. So very cool little building technique there. I think that's it for bag 2. Very cool. All right. So I'm actually going to take a quick little break. And when I'm back, we'll pick our next winner and then get on to bag 3. Alright, back. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Nice technique for the windows. Hey there, Jason. Well, in addition, we also built this little Quinjet, so that took almost an hour. So yes, I'm only on bag 2, Jason. Alright, next winner. Tira Xpira, congratulations. You have won a Lego Batman movie collectible minifigure. We get in touch with you to get you that prize. Alright. Bag 3, you're up. Looks like there's going to be a lot of Technic. I actually have 4 number 3 bags. I'm going to get some gears too, so yes, definitely a good bit of Technic. This might be Aaron's favorite part of the whole build. Although it looks like we're still only going to be like within the main frame. So whatever Technic stuff we do, we'll have to extend at some point to the propellers. So there'll be some more Technic later on. But like, this bag was pretty much just all Technic beams here. Okay. Starting out with what I'm assuming are going to be some supports for where the turbines will go later on. Move some stuff around there so you guys can see things a little better. It's a little closer to the camera. Got 8 of these guys. Got these lovely Technic pins that are useful for so many things, but Lego likes to use them, especially the red ones here, for when you have to like attach something later on. You put them in halfway and then later on you push them in the rest of the way once you have another assembly done. That's 8, I hope. Hopefully I can count. And those are all going into 2 of the, or 4 of the 6 openings we've got here. They also have these little Technic toe balls that later became mixel joints for some reason. I have to find out what those do later. Sometimes they're just kind of used for spacing. They help with spacing or to keep things from moving or rotating too far. Sometimes they actually get connected onto. Or rubber bands, yeah, that's a good point, Ignika. Sometimes they are used for rubber bands to add play features or just tension to get the spacing right. Okay. Now, some of those big Technic beams. Let's flip this around so it's pointing the right way compared to the instructions, so I don't mess anything up here. Oh yeah, and see now, we'll be able to, once we have these beams on here, we'll be able to push those red Technic pin bushing combos into them, and that'll kind of lock the beams into place, and then the beams will be good attachment points for, I assume, the turbines when we get to them. So yeah, just pop them all in. And it also really helps to make the whole frame a lot more rigid. So you can see now it kind of gives it a lot of strength. When we just had the bottom part, right, if I held it by one side, it would kind of sag a little, but now it's very strong and not bendy at all. I could do something similar in the back with slightly bigger Technic beams. Well, I don't quite have anything to push them into just yet, but it looks like that may be what we build next. It is definitely satisfying to lock those in, although, you know, these weren't too bad because it's just like one pin into one hole, but sometimes when you have like, you know, really complex assembly and you're trying to line up like 3 pins at the same time, then that can be a little frustrating instead of satisfying. And so I'm guessing the part we're working on now, you're not really going to be able to see when in the finished model, since we've got this bright yellow and red going on here. It's usually a good hint at that, because I do not recall the Helicarrier having lots of bright yellow in it. Maybe some warning stripes here and there. Or on the runway, right? The runway lines are white, but aside from that, not big swaths of it like that. Go. So got some interesting techniques going on here. We've got these kind of curvy slopes, and we're putting these snot brackets on and building up a little bit, and then another one, so it's got a whole bunch of studs on the back there for some potential snot building. And then we're actually taking this guy. We've been building pretty much studs up so far. We're flipping it around, and these are going on what was the bottom, or may still be the bottom. But now we're kind of building in this direction. Lots of these dark gray, what are they, 1 by 10, 1 by 12, 1 by 12 Technic beams here. There's like 6 here, another 2, and there's still a few more in there. And so yeah, so this is still the top, but now these guys are studs out. And now we get to use some of these red pin bushings to lock them into place here. And so now kind of we have a little bit of the aft of the helicarrier. Some kind of almost final details, I'm guessing, there. Although, like I said, I'm sure the yellow and blue and red will be hidden by the time we're done. Yeah, this is, like we said, from 2012, I believe. So the snot brackets I used there are pretty much the only ones that they had back then. So a lot of the newer cool snot pieces they didn't have. They had to make do with what was around back then. Back in the old days of 2012. That's certainly some perspective. It's kind of like thinking that this year, right, 2019, remember when 2012 was 3 years ago. Well, this year, 2019, right, there's going to be people who were born the same year as BZPower started who are now legal adults this year. And that is just like one of those things where it's like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for well over half my life at this point. Gives you some perspective, that's for sure. Wow, that is a good point, Jason. I mean, 2012 seems, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but Bionicle hadn't even been rebooted. So, in the time since this set came out, Bionicle was rebooted and then canceled again. And I believe this set may still be available on store shelves, right? Or if not, it was just discontinued recently. So this set kind of like outlived the Bionicle reboot. Now I'm breaking stuff. Get back on there, parts. Not everything's quite locked into place just yet. Okay. now another layer of Technic beams. It's interesting that these Technic beams are going on top of here, and there's these tiles here. I would think they would have had those be actual plates so there was some more connection. Like, I could understand if they wanted a different color there, maybe. I would think they would still do it with plates instead of tiles. All right, pushing our last ones up there. Those were the last red guys in this bag, or a set of bags. See you later, Ido. Thanks for joining us. So it looks like now we're going to be, based on these curved pieces here, probably finishing up the front of the bridge here. All things considered, this bag is going by pretty quick. So hopefully bag 4 will probably then be the last bags we do today. And then that calls into question the future. So I was thinking about building some more of this tomorrow, but we're kind of chugging along. I don't want to finish it too quickly, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we come back tomorrow and build some more, or should we call it quit after bag 3, try to drag this on a little longer? I'm game for what you guys are game for. Within reason. Not going to finish it all today, that's for sure. Oh, was I misinformed? So I could have sworn someone said earlier this set came out in 2012, but now Jason's saying 2015. So maybe not quite outliving Bionicle. Whatever the case, we've got an interesting technique here, right? So we've got studs up in this direction. I've got this guy that are flipping around and putting here. So we're kind of reversing the studs by using these clips and bars. So that's an interesting little technique there. Why not count down the weeks by finishing parts of the build as we go along? Yeah, that was definitely the idea. I guess wasn't sure how long this build was going to take. You know, kind of did our rough extrapolation at the beginning. That was probably going to be about 10 hours or so. If we get through 3 hours today, it gives us another couple of build sessions, I guess. Do like another 3 hour and a 4 hour, or we could do a 3, a 2, and a 2. I should probably attach what I just built. I'm just building all these sub-assemblies and then not actually attaching them. Alright, so this guy that I built now gets flipped upside down, and this part is the top. There we go, and that makes the top of the bridge. That ends up being pretty cool. The tiles are filling in that gap really well. If but it's actually built upside down, so that's neat. Then the next subassembly that I already built goes down and connects to the studs there to lock that bridge part in, hopefully, so it doesn't go anywhere. And we do some more locking in. They've got these pieces that we're using to lock or to add some connection points, probably more like connection points in between these than lock anything in. So are connected pretty well. I guess we had thought that this set came out the same year as Avengers, which was 2012, but I guess it was for Winter Soldier, as Jason's saying. I could have sworn you could still buy this set last year. But apparently I am all wrong and all confused. Alright, it's really coming along now. Got some Technic axles going in. So the 3 module with the stop. I'm inserting them in here. Oh, those are actually going into those Technic bushing things. So that's adding, can see, maybe. And these are going in here and connecting into the bushing part of that. So it's adding even more strength to the frame. It's pretty ingenious. Now we get some gears. Oh, get a little bit of gears here, and then some big gear assemblies. I mean, certainly everything I'm remembering about this set is anecdotal and mostly inaccurate, it would turn out. So I'll be trusting what I'll trust what Brickset says more than what I say in this case. I think they usually do a pretty good job of being accurate. See, the way all this is working is the 4 propellers will be eventually controlled by 1 motor when we put that in. So they all have to somehow be geared together so that 1 motor can operate them. So you've got a little gearbox here, and that is going over here somewhere. Yep, right there. There, and now we get to build a big gearbox. Interesting how all this is coming together. Kind of gradually building it up, like starting with an axle and a gear and a half bushing, and then we add one thing on, and then we add another gear. And because of those half bushings, there's just a little itty bitty gap between the two so they don't touch. So you guys, I guess we'll start with, do you think we should build bag 4 today? And then do you think we should stream tomorrow, or are you interested in us streaming tomorrow, or should we take our time with this one? Do you have a bunch of other Marvel sets we can build either during the Helicarrier builds or kind of on their own after we build the Helicarrier potentially. So have that as an option too. Alright, well this is fun. How are we doing this? Upside down. So you've got to put this little triangle guy in here, and then insert this in, line it up with the triangle, and then line it up with these white connectors. There we go. And then that gets a gear too. Alright, so got a gear in here. So now when this turns, you can see both of these end up turning. I'm noticing it seems like there's a bit of tension in here. I'm going to try to loosen this up a little bit. There we go. You don't want to have to make the motor work too hard in doing this, otherwise it'll burn it out. All right. Got some nice 10 module Technic axles here. I'm pretty sure this didn't get 2 releases, Aaron, but I've already determined that I can't be trusted to recall this correctly. Alright, gearbox is growing. When will it stop? Turns out about right here. Alright, so here we go, our gearbox as it stands now. Assuming down here is going to be where the motor attaches, because there's a Technic pin that would fit on the motor. We'll see. Okay, so this all goes in here. Then we push these down until they connect to our gearboxes from before. Oh, if I have that attached all the way. There we go. So now when this spins, you can see these two axles are turning. And then we're turning down here so you can put some more gearboxes up there. After we add some supports, it would seem. It's pretty ridiculous that the axles here are essentially running along like the entire length of the helicarrier. It is quite the intricate motorized setup, or at least geared setup, right? It's not motorized by default. That is an extra thing if you're like me and bought the parts to motorize it. But I mean, you're already spending $350 on this set. Might as well motorize it. And light it up, of course, too. All right, a few more gears left. Alright, so I think after this we're going to call it a day. So we can kind of stretch this out a little bit. And we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we'll build some other Marvel sets and then maybe just do 2 bags of this instead of 3. And then that'll get us through bag 5. All right, and then we'll have 2, 4, 6, 7 more to kind of spread out. Maybe we'll do 3 tomorrow too. We'll see how tomorrow goes, but we'll do the official announcement after we're done here. Say the only problem with having all these axles is that it does add a good bit of friction like along the system with all these connectors and everything, so it does not spin like super easily and freely as you might expect it would. But they do all spin, and let's see, so these 2 spin And right now, if we're looking at this side, they spin counterclockwise, and the back ones are spinning clockwise, so they're even spinning in opposite directions from each other. And that's pretty nifty as well. So as far as other Marvel sets we build tomorrow, what would you guys be interested in? I know we've got some brickheads from Infinity War we could build. I've got some Infinity War sets. I've got a couple of those. I've got at least one Black Panther set. You've got Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and probably some others lying around. So let me know which of those you guys would be interested in too. And so now we've got our little hand crank if you're not motorizing it. And let's see. They want you to make sure that the gears are straight and not, not adding that friction that I was talking about. Let's see, got everything good, everything looks like it matches. So now I got a crank I can spin on the back, and everything spins. I don't know, this is kind of more satisfying than the Forma set almost. And once I have the crank on, I think it's all going pretty smoothly at this point. Alright, now we're adding some more stuff to the middle here to strengthen all this, especially these axle runs we've got going on. Alright, I think this is going to be our last steps here, is adding some more of these beams for support. And now this is kind of one of the parts where it's getting a little interesting, getting everything in here. Lining things up. It's getting a little tight in there. Alright, get rid of our extra pieces, those little Technic bits and gears in there. And do our giveaway link back up. Alright, and that's going to be tomorrow. Get the instructions out of the way so we can kind of show off everything. Alright, so first off, we've got our stand. Is that how that goes? Oh, that's pretty neat. So they actually use the holes that are built into the bottom of the hull pieces as where the stand goes. So there we go. It stands on the stand and comes off pretty easily. And so now we can look at the inside a little bit. So we've got lots of gears and gearboxes here. I see our little crank on the back, so you can see how all that works. Making the 4 axles on these edges here spin. That's going to be for the 4 propellers. And it looks like this section here with the white is going to be where the battery box goes. And then we've got this little pedestal here with the jumper plates, and we've got an axle down here, if you can see that, and a Technic pin that the motor will plug into. And that will connect to a gear that you maybe can still see down over here, and that is what will motorize it. And I'm guessing that gear will gear down the rate at which the Technic motor spins, otherwise it would be too fast and the thing might actually take off. So yeah, here we go, looking at it from the outside here. It looks still kind of plain for now, but I feel like even when we're done, it's probably still going to be fairly plain from this side, right? You're really going to be wanting to look at it from the top, where there's like the runways and like the bridge tower and everything, and the 4 pylons, the propellers. That's going to be the part you want to see. You don't really care about the underneath too much. But we do have the bridge. I guess you call it the flight tower maybe, and this is the bridge over here. There's definitely a lot of detail in here. It's interesting they use the 1x1 clips with 1x1 tiles in them. That was a technique that I didn't really know was quote unquote like legal with Lego to do, to make a little computer screens there. There's not a lot of empty studs in here, so it's going to be interesting trying to get the microfigs in there on the bridge to display. And then there's also a sticker in here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. You can kind of see it in there. So you got the SHIELD logo on the back of the bridge. So that's a nice little touch. Yeah, so pretty awesome. We got the stand with its own sticker. That was a pain in the butt to get on, but we did it. And so there we go. For right now, it moves pretty easily. There's no boat bottom pieces on the stand or anything. So that's just kind of like the fact that this doesn't weigh that much yet. That causes it to move pretty well. And the other thing we built so far for the Helicarrier is the minifig display stand. Right now we just got Hawkeye on here, but later on we'll be adding Nick Fury, Captain America, Maria Hill, and Black Widow. So we'll have a nice representation of the Avengers there. Still missing some of the characters. Hulk obviously wouldn't fit, but it'd have been nice to see Iron Man or Thor on there, but they're available in plenty of other sets. Yeah, so that is the Helicarrier so far. We also built this lovely Captain Marvel Quinjet set. So we've got Goose the Cat, we've got Captain Marvel herself, Talos the Skrull, and inside the cockpit here we've got good old young Nick Fury before he lost his eye. So you can see the cockpit opens there. The wings move, I guess, but meh. And then there is a ramp that opens in the back, but you can't fit a minifig in there. So I've got Captain Marvel's power blasts and Nick Fury's blaster there. So for right now, can put them on the stand. Good old Goose even gets a spot. And yeah, so Captain Marvel has these power blasts. They're not really new, but I think this is the first minifig that I've built with them. But yeah, you just push on that and it shoots them out. So much better than the flick fires, even if they can have a propensity of breaking minifig hands. So I'm not going to display her with those in there. But yeah, I think that is about it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, for a few more bags. And let me see what you guys have been saying in the chat. Outstanding. All right, so not a lot of comments there. So we'll figure out what else we're going to build tomorrow to go along with some more Helicarrier. Like I said, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back building some more. So let's see who our last winner for today is going to be. Dylan Tran, congratulations. You have won a Disney Series 1 collectible minifigure. We don't have a lot of them left, so you don't really get a lot of choices, unfortunately. But you'll be getting one of those, and hopefully we'll get our hands on some Series 2 at some point and show those off. But that's going to be after our Marvel month that we've got going on right now. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in and watching. We'll see hopefully a bunch of you tomorrow as we continue. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to see how this continues to go together. I'm glad we got the gearbox in there because that was a real fun build. And I'm sure as we continue, we'll start adding like some of the cool details and stuff, and it'll be awesome. So until tomorrow, this is Black 6 from BZPower.